What's up, everyone? We are set for a big week in the markets. We have some big earnings from huge companies like Tesla and a lot more. On Friday, basically every single stock popped up. We can see the heat map right now showing a bunch of great movement from companies everywhere from Amazon to United Healthcare to Bank of America and the other banks, and basically everything was green. So this week, not only do we have some important, big events in the works, but we're also coming off of an amazing end to last week. So stick with us today. We're going to go over some of the best plays to watch and the important things you need to know. But Tom, what's going on?
Yeah, so the SPY really popped up Friday, Mike, and the main thing that drove the market up was bank earnings, actually. So as we can see in this CNBC article, the Dow jumped up over 600 points, which was great. And the reason that these banks ended up doing well is they obviously reported some losses right now, and that, obviously the economy is doing a little bit worse, but they've been actually setting some money aside, like in anticipation of this. So that's kind of why some of these bank stocks ended up going up. Citigroup also said that they benefited from the rising rate environment. So that was good to see there. So across the board, banks did pretty well. I will say, though, Mike, JP Morgan's earnings, though, over the past couple of weeks did not do quite as well as Citigroup's and Wells Fargo's did. So keep that in mind. But tomorrow morning, we're going to have Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and Schwab all report. So definitely be on the lookout for those banks tomorrow. They'll probably get pretty volatile, especially early on.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of these bank stocks from last week. They've been all over the place, like whether you're looking at Bank of America or JP Morgan or Citigroup, like they've just literally been all over the place. We can see JP Morgan gap down initially and then completely turned around, and it's the same thing with a lot of the other ones. So definitely be prepared and keep them on your radar because, Tom, these bank stocks fell a ton over the past year, like a lot of people have been looking at these popular tech stocks, but JP Morgan over the past year has had highs at 173 and then lows of around 106, and it appears now it's on the way back up. And generally speaking, you would think that banks would do good in a time where rates are rising so much.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully this helps them go up. I know a lot of people have said that banks are in a pretty good position right now, and I hope that that is the case. So I hope that, some of those people that work at banks and stuff like that we've talked to end up being a little bit more correct here. But yeah, as of lately, though, those banks have really been falling down. So hopefully we see some more good earnings come in, and, hopefully Bank of America and a couple of these other ones set enough cash aside to hopefully have a good report, because it was pretty crazy to see JP Morgan fall down as much as they did on the chart, especially, early on last week compared to how they flew up on Friday. Some of those gap downs were getting pretty brutal there.
No doubt. So looking at the rest of the schedule for earnings this week, I know we have some pretty big companies reporting like Netflix, Tesla, and more. So fill us in.
Yeah, Netflix and Tesla are probably going to be the two biggest ones to keep your eyes on this week, but there's even like a lot of blue chips reporting, Mike. Like, for example, Johnson & Johnson's reporting, Lockheed Martin, Hasbro, Ally Bank as well. United Airlines is even reporting, American, AT&T, Snapchat, Verizon, American Express, Capital One. So you know what I mean? Like a lot of big blue chip stocks reporting along with some of those bigger tech stocks too. I'm sure that we're going to see some of those bigger tech stocks coming over the next couple weeks, but hey, it's going to be awesome to see Tesla on Wednesday. I know everybody's always looking to see all of their delivery numbers and everything like that. So can't wait to see if they're posting a profit or not. I'll be honest, Mike, I'm not too confident in Tesla's earnings coming up. I'm a little bit worried about it.
The thing about earnings is that sometimes a company can miss expectations and the stock blasts up, and sometimes a company can just blow through their expectations and tank down. If we're being honest, these bank earnings from last week were not anything too spectacular, yet the bank stocks are flying up. So it's definitely interesting. So, that's one very key thing to keep in mind heading into this earnings season. And this earnings season will be more important than arguably any other earnings season for this year, because of the level the market's at, and also because of the level that the S&P 500 PE ratio is at. So we, in my opinion, really need these earnings to come in strong, and more important than anything else, we need a good reaction from the market from these earnings.
Yeah, we definitely do. And I think that we started to maybe see that on Friday. So hopefully that can keep up. But, it's going to be cool to see some of these bigger tech stocks reporting. And then we might be able to have a better insight into maybe how some of these tech plays will do. Like, I'm sure Netflix is actually going to end up affecting Disney, of course, because of all those streaming numbers and stuff like that. So some of these earnings will spill over into other stocks. Like Tesla might even affect some of the EV market. So we'll have to see exactly what they say. And I know that a lot of times, Mike, that guidance is really important as well. So definitely be on the lookout for guidance too. But yeah, as far as other stuff coming up this week, there's nothing too crazy, Mike. I know that the European Central Bank is meeting on Thursday, and there was like some housing permits and stuff like that coming up this week, but nothing really crazy as far as the economic data. So at least the market's going to be quiet on that front, because I know it's been crazy lately with all the inflation data and stuff coming out.
Very true. So this is kind of interesting, and it has to do with the real estate market. So there's a bunch of talk about a potential real estate crash right now because every other market is basically crashing. There's an awesome post from Compound Advisors that basically shows how, if you look at just numbers, right, like nominal values, real estate values are at all-time highs. However, if you adjust for inflation, real estate prices actually peaked in April 2021 and have been basically downtrending ever since. So it's like basically, yeah, real estate seems like it's doing amazing right now, but when you account for inflation, it's not all that it seems. So I think this is very, very interesting. And on top of that, with rates rising so much, that definitely has an impact on mortgage rates. Those have been skyrocketing this year. And then on top of that, I saw from Redfin and other data sources that more people are backing out of their pending real estate deals right now than they've been backing out than more deals right now than they have been in a long time. And it's just interesting because everyone has their eyes on the real estate market.
Yeah, they definitely do, Mike. That's a really interesting topic there. And I know I've been kind of looking at the real estate market kind of like this as well, because, everybody's been saying, like you're right, like the housing market's been doing so well, but, with inflation adjusted here, obviously yeah, as you can see here, it's actually down a little bit. Obviously, it's not down a ton or anything because obviously the housing market isn't super volatile or anything, but it is down a little bit year over year. So just keep that in mind. I'm sure that that's going to be affecting, obviously like housing permits and everything like that coming up over the next few weeks. So definitely keep that stuff on the radar. But as far as this goes, Mike, I think that really does give a good insight into how inflation's going, because I know that there's still a lot of people out there, especially like realtors and stuff like that, obviously still touting that it's a great time to buy a house. And obviously they want to make that commission. So, while, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense because, they work in the housing market, but obviously they want to sell as many houses as possible. So you kind of got to take stuff with a grain of salt when you're listening to some of those realtors out there.
Yep, no doubt. It's tough right now because you have high prices and high mortgage rates. So it's definitely tough. So I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on the housing market over the next couple months because when you look at the stock market, that crashed. Cryptocurrency market, that crashed. Many other markets crashed with, NFTs and everything else. So it's definitely interesting. But Tom, do you have any other news for us?
Yeah, nothing too crazy here, but I did see something come out this morning with Delta. Apparently, they're going to be announcing a deal for 100 Boeing MAX 10 planes. So apparently, Delta could announce this as early as Monday. It says somebody familiar with the matter told Reuters that Delta will announce a deal for 100 Boeing MAX 10 jets worth around $13.5 billion at list prices at the Farnborough Air Show on Monday. So sounds like they're going to announce this, Mike. It should be pretty big for Boeing, which honestly, when I look at Boeing on the chart here, they're down quite a bit and they had some pretty good momentum to end the week last week. If this news ends up being positive and the market reacts well to it, I think Boeing might start to get a pretty big pop off of this. They're honestly kind of consolidating up here around this 150 or $150 resistance. And like I said, if they break that, I feel like they could get some pretty good momentum here.
All right, there we go. And guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But yeah, Tom, that's definitely big news. And let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have good old DraftKings to the upside.
Yeah, they had such a good day on Friday, Mike, up 14.6%. Go ahead and make them break above $12.91 for Monday.
Alrighty. Then with the next one, we have Netflix, also to the upside.
Yeah, pre-earnings run-up play here. Go ahead and make them break above 190.
Right, and with the last one, we have Square, also to the upside.
Yeah, look at that aftermarket, or I should say after hours move with Square. Go ahead and make them break above 66.30.
Right, so we are watching Square, Netflix, and DraftKings for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels that Tom listed. But I want to give a giant shout out to our member of the day, Mr. DN81. Thank you so much for the kind words and support on YouTube. Tom and I really appreciate you. But overall, guys, the market is at an interesting point because Friday was very, very, very good in terms of movement. I mean, DraftKings up 14.6%, Netflix up 8%, Spotify up 6%, Square up 6%, and many, many other stocks had very good days on Friday. To me, it looks like shorts are covering and some investors are buying the dip because it's not like we had any crazy news on Friday. You know what I mean? Like, there was no jaw-dropping news to explain these very, very good movements across the board and across many different industries. So I'm pretty optimistic going into this week. Of course, futures did not open yet, so we'll have to see what happens. But I also think it's interesting, Tom, how a lot of times lately, we'll see like futures gap down. So the market will like open up down, like let's say 0.5%. But then the next thing you know, later in the day, we're, either flat or green. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah, I know those futures can definitely get pretty volatile, and I know sometimes it likes to fake people out. So definitely be a little wary of that come later on tonight. But yeah, the market's going to be crazy this week, Mike. We do have a lot of those big earnings starting to kind of kick off the season here. So we'll have to see how the market reacts. It did pretty well Friday with those bank earnings coming out. Like I said, though, it wasn't all positive because JP Morgan did do a little negative move earlier in the week. So obviously Friday's positive move did overshadow that a little bit. So just keep that in mind. But overall, it was a pretty good end of the week, Mike. And like I said, or like we talked about, DraftKings was up a ton, and a lot of those growth stocks were moving, which made me happy. I know like Roblox was even green, Mike, and it's been a little while. You can see they've been kind of consolidating here at that $37 support. So I'm going to really be watching this one for a nice little breakout here.
Tom, I think we're set for a good week, though, across the board, especially with growth stocks. Friday looked pretty promising, so we'll see what happens. Guys, if you're looking to take advantage of this market volatility, definitely check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Our bot is awesome, and you won't find it anywhere else. You get daily options, day trades every single day. The bot does an amazing job. You also get access to bonus day trades. You can chat with Tom and myself all day long. You have access to an amazing community, swing trades, and a bunch of other custom bots. It's an awesome program, especially for short-term traders. You can cancel it anytime, and we have a coupon running. So definitely check it out. Besides that, let's have an amazing week.